Alright, boys. Well, I have your TikTok open, but I gotta go to my thing. So I'll be monitoring it. Just text me when you go live. All right, let's get this ball started in here. What are you laughing at now?
Oh, nothing. Just was about to say something I shouldn't have.
Oh, I'm glad I interrupted you there. Okay. So
if this piece of shit doesn't leave me alone...
What's going on? I'm assuming the game you're playing right now?
Yeah, playing Brawlhalla.
Whatever that is. Well, Arc of War community, all three of you at the moment, thank you for joining. As the famous Cody Rhodes would say, what do you want to talk about?
So have y'all ever been just like so depressed that you want to just, grab a nice knife and just go to town? Is that what you were looking for? Because that's what I got.
No. Are you okay?
I'm drinking mint chocolate chip ice cream moonshine. What the fuck do you think?
I warned you. I told you not to do it. Hey, Ghost Ship. Nice to see you. So, if you're new and you're watching this after the fact, just so you know, this is what we call a drinking stream. It's where everyone's just kind of getting toasted. Some of us are already toasted. And
very much so.
Some of us made life decisions that, mint chocolate chip liquor is probably not the best thing in the world.
No, it's pretty damn bad. I'm not gonna lie.
Health or everybody else?
It's gonna be horrible for y'all pretty soon. I'm pretty toasty.
As long as we don't have a "this is for Yoda" moment.
Oh, you wanna see something? I got you, buddy.
No, I'm good. All right. Well,
this is for you.
Oh, God.
This is for you, Grinch.
This is for Grinch. Never letting that down. So, one of the biggest things that, kind of pushed me to do a stream today was they came out with a FAQ for calling it a special disclosure for quote-unquote phase 2. And I figured we could go over that. But just to kind of break it down here,
it's ass. 7P's ass. Ass.
Hold on, I have one question before we get into that. Is this a we're shitting on 7P stream?
I'm always shitting on 7P.
We're always
Fuck
shitting on
it.
7P.
Fuck it.
It's
Fuck
always
it. Oh,
shitting
hey.
on
Got it.
7P.
By the way, hold on. I got you.
Wow.
Yup.
Oh, God.
I waited for that.
Ugh.
I got the whole song in my
Plus, who
soundboard.
knew 7P had a condescending Karen to explain things?
Oh, did you see that when they fucking revamped the fucking Aether wheel, even though we told them just get rid of it, nobody likes it, they said it was a pity wheel. And I'm like, you motherfuckers, go fuck yourself.
Oh, you're talking about
Pity my ass.
the Easter event where like the wheel is
Where they're like, oh yeah, this is a pity system. And I was like, motherfuckers, there was one month y'all made over $1 million in sales. I don't want to hear it. I really don't.
Well, they may have made the, fucking wheel successful for as we wanted it to be, but they still made it stupid expensive to get something because you still had to spend like
Oh,
$1,000.
did you see the Fire Spirit
chests.
pants in the shop right now? The Fire Spirit pants are 1,400 SEC. That is the most expensive I've ever seen those go for. It's 1,400 SEC, and that's insane. And this is a filler event. And they're charging the most that they've ever charged for that piece of gear.
Yeah, that's stupid. It's so dumb.
We told them to reevaluate their product and devalue it. And instead they have, I think, almost like quadrupled the value of these Fire Spirit pants this event. Like, it's still goddamn inconsistent. It's not funny.
No, definitely. But, you know, a lot of this is the funny part about these disclosures is they do kind of answer some of the questions. So, in terms of Cassiton coming up in what, 5 days or less, something like that, 6 days. So the first question that a lot of people were having that, you know, I thought was kind of self-explanatory, but if a guild loses its level 2 capital and still occupies a level 3 capital, does the loss of that level 2 capital prevent the defense of that level 3 capital? So basically, if you lose level 2, are you going to be able to continue to moderate level 3? All right. And their answer is yes. Even if you lose a prior capital, you will still be able to hold the larger leveled capital. I don't know how else to really say that. What's up, Arsonist? The second question that I guess was a very popular one: does the occupation of the level 3 cap qualify the guild to fight for capital at all levels? Yes, if all the gates are occupied by your guild alliance, your guild can attack any caps that one level higher than the highest level of the cap your guild holding and the below. So there's some interesting into that, and this is where some discussion can come from it. So they said right here, if all the gates are occupied by your guild alliance. So if you only have capital 1 but your alliance has cap 3, you can attack cap 4 or Sensicate. That's the way I read it.
1 second, I come in to say one thing. For me, your bitch.
And fuck you.
Wow, that was aggressive.
I'm not. I'm mad at Harris. Fuck you, Harris.
Wow. Okay. Well,
You're mad at me for what now? Did I get you pregnant?
Not yet, no. But I'm just mad at you.
And here's my exit strategy. Bye.
did he really just come in here to say fuck you?
Yeah. He built like that.
Well, but what do you guys think about that, though? It says, if all gates are occupied by your guild/alliance, so your guild alliance, hypothetically saying you only have cap 1, but your alliance has cap 3, then you can attack Cassiton? Like, that's how it reads to me.
I mean, that's fine. It's gonna mean you either need to ally with a weenie guild if you wish to use weenies and pray that you can take the whole map in order to get max rewards. Or it's just gonna mean that, you know, weenies are gone.
Well, here's the other thing, though. You can end an alliance. It's not permanent for the whole Cassiton.
Right, but I mean, if you end an alliance, typically most people don't. When you end an alliance, it's free gate. You know?
Well, no. Okay,
So it's just like.
Think about it this way, okay? Loophole. All right? So the whole thing about this in terms of, in order to. You sound like a robot. Resistance. Sorry, buddy. So
To be fair, we also told them they need to make alliances permanent. That way you can't do that kind of shit. Or where it's like you're at the end of cast and then you ally with your alliance guild and fuck over the other guild that was helping you. We literally told them multiple times they need to get rid of that. Either they need to make it to where alliance isn't a thing, or make it to where once you form an alliance, it's permanent, and that would fix.
Yeah, because that's what I'm
issues
saying
we're
right now.
talking
Like, since you're able to leave that alliance, technically the 2 superpowers or whatever amount of superpowers in that Cassiton can go and ally with their weenie guild. That weenie guild's going to have all the authority that they do in terms of capital battles because of that alliance. And then when it comes down to the final days, you end that alliance and then actually align with the person that you wanted to align with. Right?
Yep.
Well, this is why we do this, because you know that 7 Pirates already told Reggie they watch my shit. So if you're watching this, 7P, you're on the right direction, I guess, but loophole. Loophole. That's all I have to say there. Next one was, are those restricted arts allowed to join battles on Capital and Gate? I'm assuming that's if you're on a banned arc. I don't understand why that was even like a huge question, because I mean, banned arcs still are able to participate in everything. They just can't send resources to anybody or accept
Which is dumb.
resources. Yeah.
Because literally, they just got to get smacked. They don't lose resources. Their troops that you kill, they don't lose the troops because it's a restricted arc. So really, if it was me, I would just go get my arc restricted and just sit there and shielded, smacking everybody. Because if you smack their arc, they don't actually lose those troops. Just the same way they don't lose resources or shadow matter.
Alright, 7P,
So,
there's
like-
another loophole. Get that shit fixed.
Because otherwise, I might as well go restrict my arc, go unshielded, and just smack the shit out of everybody.
Or get an alt restricted. We don't use alts here.
No.
Disclosure. I definitely, both hands up in the air. I do not use an alt. I do not have one.
No, I don't. I've never had an ult, literally, the entire time
I
I
have
played.
hard enough time maintaining my one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I just want to say congratulations on your phone.
Oh, thank you.
Harris, I hope you choke on a fat one. A fat, stinky schlong.
Do you want me to go to BDB next week just to kick your ass?
I want you to choke on a fat schlong.
Sorry.
A fat
Yes,
fucking schlong.
congratulations. It's about time you opened.
Yeah, we can't make Broken... Actually, we can still make Broken Fortress jokes at him because
Nope.
he doesn't have it. Haha!
It doesn't matter. His problem was he couldn't bypass it. No, he can bypass it. I heard you had a rough day.
I am having a rough day, yes. Very much so.
So I had to come to fuck with you for that 5 minutes. Whilst going on a smoke break.
Oh, I'll fuck with you all day, baby.
You're not worth one that.
That's right, I'm worth a week. Thank you for
No,
stroking
you're
my
worth
ego.
You're worth that
No,
20
he stroked
minutes.
my ego.
No,
He
you're worth
stroked
that
it.
No.
He stroked it.
You're worth that 20 minutes and get the fuck out my car.
You guys need
What?
to kiss and make up, okay? Be nice.
You need to
I don't know why he's mad at me.
kiss my
Why-
penis.
Why is he mad at you, Harris? Enlighten me.
I don't know. This is the first time I heard he's mad at me.
I'm mad at you.
Wow.
No, you can join the list. There's like 8 other people who's mad at me.
Oh yeah, no. But I'm mad for legit reasons. It's okay. Just go suck a dick.
Oof.
I think I got him pregnant.
That's not physically possible, but okay.
Wait, he said he thought he had COVID?
No, I think I got him pregnant.
Oh, you got him pregnant? Oh, Rumi.
Yes.
Congrats.
No, I kicked
I'm
him
gonna
downstairs.
go abort it right now.
Oh, God.
All right, guys. Arc award destruction. Should you abort your child?
No. Don't even do that. Go make a poll right now. We're not doing that.
Oh, Yoda, how are you finding the sub on you?
If my father was Romy, I would beg my mother to, yes.
Beg your mother.
Anyway,
what?
Yoda, how are you finding the server?
How am I doing what?
How are you finding the server? Do you think the server's fine?
The server?
You're in BDBS?
Yes.
So how is the fucking server?
Same as any other server I've been on. I don't
Yes,
farm,
but
so I
I'm,
mean, like,
I'm on about... in general, everyone's been fine, yes? No dickheads?
no, haven't had any issues. I mean, I'm still baffled that I'm just a normal member of the guild, but you know, that's probably the weirdest thing for me is not being an officer. But
You have to earn your way up.
Womp womp. Yoda's irrelevant.
no,
Womp.
you know what?
No, everyone has to earn their way up.
I'm loving this, by the way. Fantastic.
What do you like?
Oh, nothing. Oh, nothing. Nothing at all.
What are you being so cryptic for?
No, nothing at all.
Okay. Well, moving on. When can we expect the new troop type specific gear, Dark Surge, be added to the Gen 3 chest? They don't have any plan for it. That was their answer. It means...
What the fuck is having a Gen 3 chest? First off, if they only released it once since they created it, and second off,
fuck you, bye.
Fuck you, you fucking homo.
Wow.
Anyways, God, that made me lose my train of thought for a second.
Okay.
Anyways,
Gen 3 chest has only come around once. I expect it to be in our next event. Well, it will be in our next event.
The whole point of these chests was to be made more readily available, right? That was the main complaint we had, is like, hey, we've been waiting on these blueprints for this long. Create a chest that has these blueprints that we can get, you know, anytime. Like, we're trying to give you our money, we just don't want to wait for these dumbass events.
It's like,
Yeah.
It's like, you know, 7P, yo, I have this, you know, just stuff sitting here. Like, hello, take my money.
Like,
But
hey,
you won't take my
7P,
money.
I've been waiting goddamn 6 months for FOMO blueprints. You know, like, I'm not trying to wait 6 months for blueprints. Like, I'm willing to give you my money, because in 6 months I might not have that damn money. You know?
Exactly. Exactly. It's like, hey,
and-
I had money 2 days ago, and then now I don't have any
You
more
did
money.
an event and I can't get what I want. Yeah. And so the whole point of these boxes was to make it more readily available. Yet we only see the boxes in events, right?
Yeah.
And we only just saw the Gen 3 boxes in the last Aether event. If they're just going to make it Aether, they might as well have just kept the Sunraven blueprints like they do in Aether all the time.
Or wait, no. You're
Like,
right. I'm thinking different. Okay. So yeah. I see. So they did. I know the first and second gen will be there. Third gen, I don't remember seeing it for the next event.
Yeah, so like, and it's just like, the whole point of the crate was to create a system where they could be readily bought outside of events. They didn't have to be event specific. And yet, what did they do? They made them event specific, and it's like, well, might as well, you did nothing. You made it worse by doing that. Like, sure, you gave us more selection by doing that, but guess what? We're still having to wait for these dumbass events. And I've only seen Gen 2 in like 2 or 3 events since then. And I've seen Gen 3 in only 1. And it was Aether. It cost as much as a Sunraven set. Like, it, you know, it's just some, you know, some shit needs to be moved around. Like, the whole point was to be able, like, hey, let's say I had $1,000 that I, you know, it's end of tax season. Say I got $1,000 from taxes. I wanted to spend it on Arc of War, but I want to spend it on a specific piece of gear.
Right.
Guess what? I gotta wait for an event. I don't know when this shit's coming. Like, it could be months from now. I'm not gonna have that $1,000 in months.
Oh no, because you know, like as poor people, that kind of money is just
as
burning a hole in
that
their pocket trying to get out.
Right, and it's just like, it's either it's going to go towards bills, or there's something going to happen with my car, or, you know, like, there's just a lot of shit it can go towards. And it's just like, I want to spend it now because I have money for once, and I'd like to spend it on something I actually want, rather than spending it on bills. And you can't do it. That's the whole point of the boxes that were created. Make it available all the time, whether it be gold or like meta coins. Make them meta coin boxes. You have to buy the meta coin boxes.
Right.
That way I can readily get any piece of gear I want. I'm still giving you the same amount of money that I would have given you during that event. I'm just giving it to you sooner because I have money sooner. You know what I mean? Like, they're missing out on opportunities because they're not willing to listen.
Yeah. 7 pirates. Take notes, please. At some point, just take them, absorb them, internalize them, make it happen.
Clean your ears out so you hear them.
Yeah, something. I don't know. Get a CT scan. Whatever to get you functional again. Remind me, semi-open cast, that's where they only have 4, right? And it's usually the newer planets.
Yeah, and they literally just did that, where it was a semi-only cast. I think that was the last cast was the first cast they actually did a semi-only cast. Which, props to you, 7P. The amount of people that I've heard complaints from semi-planets because they're getting faced against, like, First or EXE or TMB, and they're like 50 mil power, it's a lot. So I will say props to you for finally fixing an issue like that. Although, I will say, we're also seeing people in semis now hitting like 200, 300 mil.
True.
So, it's, you know, I mean, like, it's just either people that have been jumping semis for a while, or people that just have a lot of extra money to spend and they're spending it. But you know what? I'm not going to tell you how to use your money, but I would personally wait till open. But that's on you. But yeah, we're seeing like 200, 300 mil starting to populate in semis. And, you know, you used to only see like at most 100 mil, and that was with a lot of spending in semis. But now we're seeing 200, 300 mil. That keep in mind, they actually introduced Sunraven gear to semi servers. I don't know if you remember that, but it was about 7-8 months ago. They actually introduced it to semi servers as well. Same with Broken Fortress.
That was kind of leading into the question from AI Fox in the chat. He was asking, do you think that their semi will get Gen 2 gear? I'm like, well, we discussed this too in prior live videos, where part of the reason why some of the smaller the newer planets aren't even getting offered the, you know, second gen stuff is because you can't readily even get close to building them.
Well, you can't get the crafting gear.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why they're only offering certain things, is because literally in semi you cannot get the crafting gear because they don't have it in the events.
Yeah.
So that's why they had 2 events that I have personally heard of, where they released Sunraven gear and Broken Fortress and FOMO. In those events, they also released the crafting gear. But keep in mind, that crafting gear was like 4 times the amount of cost it would have been in open. Because you're not supposed to have that gear. So they were really ripping people for their money. Which is why, again, this is a friendly warning. I wish I was told this when I first started, because it would have saved me about 20,000-30,000. Just throwing that number out there. Yes, I spent about 20,000-30,000 in semi. I don't want to hear bullshit for it. But anyways,
I don't want to even think about it.
Not gonna lie, I'm up there with you.
Yeah, I know you're up there with me, buddy. You fucking massive. But anyways, if you don't want to think about it, how do you think, as somebody who, I didn't have mentor guilds. You know, my mentor guild was XNF, which is a fucking farm guild. Keep that in mind. I didn't really have mentors. I didn't have a lot of friends in the game who had been playing for a long time.
Even Melt didn't exist really yet.
No, Melt did not exist at that time. So, like, when I first started, I didn't know, like, hey, you should wait. Save your money. Don't get this gear. Don't get that gear. Don't waste your leadership on this comm. Don't waste your leadership on that comm. Like, well, here's the other
devil's advocate of that too. Anybody that's joining the game right now, you have such an advantage over those of us that have been playing.
Oh, dude, when we first started, the pack prices, like what you got in the packs was nothing. So my, like, you know, 20,000-30,000 that got me to about 200 mil that I spent, right? For if you were to do that now, if you spent that same amount of money, you should be at least double, if not triple that size.
Yeah, 100%. Because if I knew what I knew, if I knew now what I knew then,
I wouldn't have spent a damn dime.
I would have just sat there doing the free to play shit until they came out with some of the shit that they came out with lately, and all starting with the whole. So if you don't have tier 9, there is a special pack that comes around, so where you can buy it 3 times, and it will give you enough UC to open up all the tier 9. All right, that came out like a year, maybe like a year, maybe a little more after they first introduced Tier 9, and we're talking like $10,000 just to get Tier 9.
Yeah,
before this pack came
and
out.
that wasn't even all the Tier 9 too. That was 2 of them.
Yeah, talking about $10,000 just to get the UC for Tier 9. And luckily for me, I did actually get lucky in the sense to where I wasn't spending then like really much at all. So what happened was I unlocked one of the Tier 9, but they were only giving it out to people who didn't have anything unlocked. So I myself and a lot of people, again, not saying that I'm the reason, but I do know I am one of very many people, I'm sure, that message. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, why can't I access this? You know, like, why is this not allowing me to access it? And they're like, oh, well, you know, we didn't, whatever bullshit answer. They said, well, just go buy a $100 pack of the standard, this, you know, this pack. I'll pull it up on stream here. Arc supplies, no. Go here,
Also,
buy this, and then we'll see it and we'll credit you. So one, this tells me that they do have a lot more ability than they say they do. For the fact of the matter is, like, I bought that and they just sent me in a message in game as kind of like an awards message of like, oh yeah, here's all your additionals, you know. So they have the ability to go in there and do it. They're just making shit up when they say, oh, we can't.
Well, yeah, you know, I will say, you know how they're starting to release like 6,000, 7,000 HCUC in these $100 packs now? That was because we fought so goddamn hard. And keep in mind, this is what pisses me off, is that it was after I got Hyperspace 10 and unlocked all the T12.
Yes. Yes.
And got Hyperspace 5 infantry. And, like, just keep in mind, to do all of that, even a year ago, is close to, like, 60,000. And, now they're offering it, like, you know, $6,000-$7,000. Like, that was the only time they did that was during Black Friday. During those Black Friday.
Only
events.
Black Friday would you ever see numbers like this, like close to it. And right now, this event, you get 6,500 UC, 4,000 HC, 3,000 WC for $100.
Yeah, like, that is insane. Like, and I just, you know, we have paved the way to make it easier for new players. The issue is, so many new players are, like, hitting that wall, and they're getting told by old players, don't spend your money, because it's not worth it. Because, I mean, for the most part, most of the community recognizes, A, the community is dying. We're seeing a lot of players starting to quit, especially when they introduced Zeth. Oh my god, we saw a lot of players quitting selling their arcs, and I don't blame them. It's a basically a guaranteed win comm unless you have the exact gear you need and troops and formation and leadership. You know,
or willing
like,
to lose something.
Yeah, and so no matter what, he's always getting a trade. And especially when he first came out, like, nobody knew what the fuck to do to touch him. And now we have a decent idea, but the fact there's only really one good counter to him and, like, 1 or 2 decent ones. Like, you know, we remember Black Supremacy, but Black had a lot of counters. He had dodge counters. He had Swede counters. You know, he had, like, damage reduction counters. You know, he had a lot of counters if you built right. But Zeth only has, like, really 2, 1 solid, 1 decent, and 1, like, counter. And so it's just like everyone was bitching about Black Supremacy, and now Zeth came out and just people were done. They got tired of the 1 comm metas. Like, we had Rogers, right? Then we had Reinhardt, and then they came out, you know, Sister Wolf and all that stuff. And then you know, you had Black always in the background. And then whenever everyone started switching to dodge, they had DS. And then, you know, then they came out with Puppet and Commissar to kill the tanks that were used to counter the Blacks. You know, it just... they're so tired of the 1-com metas, and then what did they do? They made another 1-com meta.
Yep. And that'll
So,
bring us
anyway.
to another point of conversation later on. But hope that answered your questions, Fox. I just realized, I believe, is that the same Fox in the voice chat right now? No?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, okay, I just realized you were in voice chat. Feel free to talk, buddy. It's not just me and Rumi.
No, I'm listening, man. I'm still learning.
All right. So the next question that they posted, I guess that was important to them to answer. Some gears have, again, translation here, have random stats when receiving, and also have level limit for equipment. Like Titan in the Gift of Valkyrie, they simply responded yes. If you get them from the All-Star or World Shop, it's still going to be a random percentage of whatever the start is, anywhere from, I think, 40 to 60% attack for the Viking.
Yeah.
Sorry, not Viking. Titan. So
Yeah.
those will always be that way in terms of the randomness, and that's gonna go into the same thing here, which was actually kind of cool. In some point, if you don't know what this is in terms of Reforge, you go to the Forge ship, you go to no, that's not, where am I going? Forge ship, recycle, Reforge, and right here you can take two of these that will say they're Titans and they have two different values to them that are shitty, and you can reforge them with another one to get hopefully a better roll. Okay, so if you didn't know that, there's some info for you if you're on the first generation of Gears sets, and that's going to apply to the ones that have the different values generated depending on how they craft the first time, which was a big thing back in the day, you know, because the Titans, 30 to 60 for Titan, 50 to 80 for the
Titan's
Tyrant.
still pretty damn relevant. I'm not gonna lie.
And
Just
70...
having a basic attack build, fucking fantastic.
No, yeah, it's still viable. I mean, I still use the Valkyrie. 70 to 100% starting, and then -20 to -5 attack starting, depending on how that roll was. So what that Reforge does is you have to have two of those items. So if I had two of the Thunders, we'll hypothetically say they're Titans, I would need two Titans to Reforge to hopefully reroll for a better base stat. And when I say rerolling those, you want to look at the ones that have started between like 30 and 40% base stat. If you're in an upper 5 or somewhere in between, I'd say 50 and 60, then I'd say you're pretty good in potentially wasting a roll, because you can roll worse too on those. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah, if you're anything above like a 52, don't reroll. It's very rare that you're going to get better.
I learned that the hard way.
Yeah, I saw Flame. He rerolled like his 54, even though, you know.
That's what I did.
Yeah, he rerolled his 54 and he actually ended up getting a 60. But I've also rerolled like 53s, 54s with other 53 54s, which you would think, oh, that would get me a better roll, and it dropped all the way down to 30. And I'm just like, fuck this game, bro.
Yeah, I've never made that mistake. I asked the questions before.
You ever re-roll two 30s and get a 30?
No, that would be. I would be pissed. I would want my money back. All right. So last question that they felt the need to answer was why the new rules do not apply to the gate, or quote unquote the border. They simply basically just say, we got the feedback and the developers are still working on a solution to that. there really, in my opinion, isn't a very viable way to utilize or not utilize, start that kind of coding right now. What's the word I'm looking for? Anyways, we've talked. Rumi and I have definitely talked about this a lot. And yes, the whole issue is weenies, but what would be a viable solution to the borders? The capitals make sense. You need cap 1 to hit cap 2. If you have cap 2, you can hit cap 3, so on and so forth. But the borders, it's questionable. Like, how do you keep that? How do you put that kind of structure? Execution. That's the word I was looking for. How do you execute that?
Do you have to hold them the whole time? I haven't done one yet.
So the way the borders work is that everyone starts in a section of Casseton, okay?
Yeah.
And that's your planet. And this is where your enemies hopefully become your frenemies. And you guys work together to get to the center.
Fuck that shit. Fuck them kids.
What?
Rebel.
Well, that's what we're doing on.
Fuck 'em all.
Burn your tiles.
That's what
Burn 'em all.
Sexful said. He told me to do it.
Burn every single one of them.
Wow.
Fuck them. Fuck peace.
If it's red, it's dead.
If it's red equals dead. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, we're on 1685, and that's what we did. We all merged together for this. That's what they said was the best idea.
Yep. Red is dead. If they're not allied, they're dead. Keep that mentality. Good man.
Wow.
Fuck alliances. Alliances kill the game.
Okay.
They do. You
Sound a
can't
whole
kill
lot
the
like
game.
X stole them. That's all he tells me to do. Just burn everybody.
All right, so it depends on where you're at in the game. When you're on a certain level, or like if your goal is Galactic Campaign and that's where you want to, show your muscle, having alliances makes sense on server side, which does create technically a dead server, and it does get kind of boring. And
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
It is what it is. If that gets boring for you, do what Rumi and all them do and go and jump to a different server for 30 days and come back later.
Alliances kill servers. Alliances kill casses. It's not fun. Red is dead. Kill everyone.
I just started
Oh, bitch.
another semi-account on 1687. I was bored on mine.
Well, anyway, so the goal here is that your planet, when you say at my guild opens the border, and
Mhm.
you're in a different guild and you're on the same planet as I am, so we're in the same section. If I open it,
Yoda.
you can go through that border. As long as our planet owns that border, you can go through it. Same thing to where if we move on to the center and somebody from another, and we're on like the level 2 section, so now we have two different servers having the ability to come in, right? So now there's attacks on three different ways that can come through. If they start going after our border, somebody that is on our planet can still defend that border and hold it, and everyone will still be able to go in and out through that border. So there's no way to really cut out use of and protection of that border from an entire server the way they have it built. Not in the same way that they do in terms of having level 1 to hit level 2, etc.
But it's always constantly
well, the border is every 4 hours. The or 12 hours. Sorry.
So there is a cooldown period.
Yeah, no, so Rumi, right? It's every 12 hours for the border.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the amount of times I've had to wake up at 6 in the morning for borders is very high.
So the borders are every 12 hours, and then the capitals are every 2 days. I think it's 2 days, 2 or 3 days, one of the two. It's like
every 24 hours.
Not 24 hours. It's like a day and a half. It's like a capital on the regular size server. Those are usually about 2 days, almost day and a half. It's an odd number.
Yeah, it's 12 hours from the time the gate actually closes. So if you keep that gate open like for 8 hours, it's going to reset to that point. You know what I mean? So like, let's say the gate starts at like 6 p.m. your time, you keep it open until 2. The gate's not going to reopen again for battle until 2 p.m. compared to when you initially started fighting for the gate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So that was kind of some Q&A that they decided to answer openly, I guess, or be a little more direct with in answering questions. Some of them I don't feel like, I think there are better questions out there that they could have focused on, other like the whole, you know, if I buy a Titan from the shop one. I mean, I don't know how uncommon of knowledge that is at this point, or if it's even a big question for new players, but excuse my ignorance, as it's a very common knowledge for a lot of us. I forget that sometimes too. But I just felt like there might have been a few other questions probably that they could have focused a little more on. But,
Well, I mean, there's times where like I forget shit and have to be corrected either on stream or after stream, and I feel like some of those questions were very much like I haven't had to deal with this and I forgot, or it's new players who don't know anything about that, and let's say they don't have people who can tell them about that. Where else to ask besides a server full of 7P players?
Right. No, I mean that's a fair point, and that's what I say. Like, excuse my ignorance in this statement of like I've been playing so long, and some of these things are just very. I feel like they're common knowledge, but I can understand them not being common knowledge. I mean, even me talking about the Reforged ship part of it. I when's the last time anyone
A lot of people don't
thought
know
about
that.
Like when
Yeah,
I didn't even think about it till right this moment. Like,
I mean, if you also think about it, there's not any like Forge 22 gear that you can reroll. So, like really the only thing that after a certain point you're re-rolling is going to be Valkyrie or, Titan, depending on what build you're going for.
Right.
But you typically don't see any other re-rolls besides those two.
Correct.
Thank you for validating that I'm correct. It makes me feel warm and tingly inside.
You're so wrong.
Oh.
I got something to make you feel warm and tingly.
Oh God, yes, please.
Oh goodness.
I beg.
Right,
Wait a minute. I'm not saying I'm gay before anyone asks. Not that there's anything wrong with being gay.
Hey, $20
I'm just
is
not gay.
$20.
I don't judge.
$20 is $20. You right? I can't
Hey,
even
Yoda,
discredit
how many
that.
ruler medals you got?
Ruler medals? I am
Yes.
too short of 50. Or 15. So I have 13.
Oh. So you about to have a Sun Raven piece.
No, Are you kidding? I've been fighting to get the... I don't even know what to use them now for since I went full Mahal first.
How do you feel about them lowering the price of having the Sun Raven piece?
Who?
How do I
Me?
feel? It doesn't affect
Doesn't-
me. I never bought it, so... I, to this moment, don't have any blueprints for the Sun Raven, so I'm kind of just waiting it out. But I have 13 of the ruler medals.
What was it? Was it 30 or 25 for the 50 blueprint?
It was 25, so 50.
So it dropped at 10.
Yeah. Which, I mean, it's a little annoying, but honestly, I feel like it was needed. Like, I can't even really complain. I got my Sun Raven for like $2,300 compared to people who spent.
Plus, you got like one of yours for like free until they fixed it 2 seconds in.
I got 2 of them for free until they fucked me in the ass.
Did they take both of them? I thought they only took one.
They took both of them and took all my blueprints I'd been saving up prior to that. Remember, that was a big issue. That's why I went on stream and bitched about for like 3 hours.
I didn't know they took both of them. I thought you got one out of it.
No, they took both of them and also took all my blueprints, so I had to start from fresh.
Fuck you, 7P.
And they didn't give me back the crafting gear that I used for my Sunraven chest either. So they only gave it back for the pants.
That's what it was. You got the gears back for the build.
I got the
One of
gears
them.
back for the pants, but didn't get the blueprints or the crafting gear I put into the Sunraven chest.
Gotcha.
Sponsored by Pussy Energy.
Sponsored by Pussy Energy. Actually, you know, hold on one second. I still have one. I'm not gonna drink it right now, but for the camera.
I feel like you should.
To you, bye.
Fuck it. We
Pussy
ball.
Energy.
Hey,
I just cracked up.
you want to
a new
be sponsored?
beer. We'll drink one a little later. There's time. So moving on. So in this next update thing that occurred that nobody really cares about, but anyways, new gameplay called Major City Conquest, which to me, we'll go through it, but preliminarily here,
It's a more expensive GC, and
it sounds like an expensive GC. Like it's GC, but without the free healing. That's what
yeah, and and even then, GC you're using speed ups, and this one you're using resources and speed ups.
Yeah, more expensive, 100%.
Just like
So-
being server side.
And even though they said it's only 5% of the original cost, I'm just like, dude, if I lose like 20,000 air, that's a lot of resources to heal.
Mhm.
And the question that comes to mind is, if you don't heal, are they permadead like they are in GC? Because if so, and you get stuck in one of those matches where, let's say you lost that many troops, but you don't have the resources to heal, because let's say you can't send resources during the actual fight, you know,
You would
Like,
hope
what are you
they'd
gonna
move to
do?
like at least move to your shelter, right?
well, not you don't want them to go to the shelter. You want them to, come back fully healed or something, or at the very least just stay dead in your hospital. But then that raises the question: if they're dead in there, is the healing cost going to go up? Let's say I have to, go back out because I can't heal them right then and there. And if so, that's pretty shitty.
Good question. So, we'll jump back into that in just a second, though. Major City Conquest is a guild-based match for major cities, one guild versus one guild. Galactic campaign. Just saying. There are 3 cities in the screen. The mini cities are on up and bottom, so top and bottom. The central is the major city. Two guilds need to fight for the major city to get victory. Cities have 2 statuses: battle and protected. So that's what that's a part that I really don't get. Is there are 3 cities, there's a top one, a bottom one, and a center one. And in order to go for the center one, you have to have at least one of those cities, right? What
Well,
are
at
you
least you
fighting
won't
for that one city? Like, that doesn't make sense to me. Like, you automatically just have it at that point.
Like, I know we said bring something fun, but like we meant bring something fun that doesn't cost.
Yeah, no, like Soren just said, he said the real question is, who asked for another mode where we have to pay to heal? That's very valid.
Nobody asked for another pay to win mode.
Yeah. So after all 2 mini cities being captured, the major city is available for attacking. So once the top one is taken by the top, see, that's the other thing too. They don't really speculate how you're getting launched into the match either. So like with world event, you both start in like opposite corners. Galactic campaign, you're on 50-50 of the map. How is this one going to start? Because it sounds like it's just an open, at this point, an open field of just get fucked. Is there a fog of war? Because this says if the major city is captured by a guild, then the guild wins, and the gameplay is expected to be released in early June. The problem here is there a fog of war, like in World and GC? How do you start the match? In opposite corners, side by side, how is that going to start? It also sounds like in terms of the mini cities, it's going to be open for anybody to attack. it's not like GC where you have 2 forts and they have 2 forts, and you're just trying to destroy them. So, I don't know. It just seems like a very costing event, which I
Well, and
agree
then
or
it brings
disagree
in those
too.
questions where it's just like, well, like, are these troops like, do I have to heal them outside of the match? Like, do I, shit like that? Which is just like, if you have to heal them to get out of the match, like, a lot of free-to-play players aren't going to want to do it. That's why a lot of free-to-play players don't do server battles.
Yep.
Or if it's like, hey, you automatically get these healed.
You don't want half your troops dead going into GC. That's
Well,
why
right.
I want to see how it works way before I ever want to touch it.
Oh, dude, I don't want to touch it, period.
I have no aspirations to even like humor.
I mean, they
No,
gotta have
anything that caught, the only thing that
for me to even bother.
only thing that I want to fight in that costs resources is CAS, and that's it. And that's because the rewards are actually, like, they're not great, but they're more worth it. Like, these would have to be pretty damn good rewards for me to even want to touch that shit. Because there's too many if, ands, or buts. And it's also like, hey, do the same rules apply, like, on a server-side battle, where if you smack their arc, you get their resources? Because if that's the case, I'm sure as shit not going into that.
Yeah. And
Because if I load up from one of these matches and somebody smacks me and gets all my shit, then I'm just wasting money.
Oh yeah, 100%. That is a very valid question. And, like, if you get hit, is it like GC or you don't lose anything, or do you lose everything? Like, what's the reward? What is the real reward in this? You know? Because even I enjoy Galactic Campaign. All right, that's where I find, and then Galactic Campaign. That's where I find my enjoyment, because Leroy Jenkins all the time. But even then, the rewards for GC just aren't that great anymore. And it's not that they changed, it's that they haven't evolved. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
To where we still have Moxie for the comm win. I have like 9 Moxie comm tiles sitting in my inbox already still. Because I already have them as class. I have no reason to use the medals right now, because I'm not using commander that could use his skill as a force skill. Like, there's no reason for me to even have those tokens at the moment.
Womp womp.
So, Christian, what I have up right now are the actual, what they posted as rules for it. So, it's Major City Conquest holds twice per week. Guild leader and deputy leaders can sign up for on Mondays and Wednesdays. Matchmaking occurs Mondays and Fridays, with battles taking place on Wednesdays and Sundays accordingly. If the central major city uncaptured within the allotted time, the guild that has maintained control for the longest duration will be declared the major city owner. All guild members are able to utilize the city's skills well as attacking the major city. So, but this is 100% PvP. It's not PvE.
I have another
PvE
question.
would be like the weekly thing they do, Imperial Invasion.
So, if they have signups for it, is this locked like GC? Because if so, then your guild's going to be locked almost 24/7.
No. The guild, I don't foresee them locking the guild, but you will have at least the 24-hour restriction for participation with the guild if you just joined. That is definitely going to play a part into it. Now, the other question is, are they going to put like a 48-hour or 72-hour hold on you like they do for participating in Galactic Campaign?
Well, that's what I was asking, because if they do that and signups are on Wednesday,
but it's not going to lock you out. So I don't foresee them locking them out like they do for Galactic Campaign. But even then, when you sign up for Galactic Campaign, you're only locked out for that weekend until Monday server reset, depending on where you are in the country, or in the world. For me, it's Monday at server reset. But yeah, that's. I don't see them locking it like they do for Galactic Campaign over the weekend. It's just more or less the standard 24 hours before you can participate in guild events, 72 hours before you can participate with the new guild that you just joined in Galactic Campaign.
Right. Which that's fine if that's the case, just I don't want perpetual lock, because you have lock from the weekend for doing GC, and then if you have signups on Monday, you're locked until Tuesday, and then you have signups on Wednesday, then you're locked till fucking Thursday. And then that leaves you only Friday and potentially Saturday if your guild signs up late for GC. That's such a long lock.
Yeah, I think you're stressing out over it, and
well, I'm asking potential questions that I could see being a problem with this new game mode.
Well, we know they're
not
stupid,
so much that,
but I don't think they're that stupid.
I mean,
I've been proven wrong before, but
I was about to say the amount of times we've been like, surely they wouldn't be that stupid, and they were, is astounding. So I'm asking them now and saying 7P, these are all questions you should keep in mind and maybe not do before you actually release this game mode. If you're watching.
Yeah, give us some pictures of what you're going to do and how you're going to do it.
That would be nice as well, yes.
Because I'm the boss of my guild, and I sure as hell don't want my guys hollering at me, well, I needed to go somewhere and get bitched at because I signed a win for something.
Right, that too. That's very annoying. Like if they're like,
I'm gonna chew some P's ass for it. And plus, Sundays would be fine, but Wednesdays, that's the start of the GC right off the bat. So if it was Monday, if it was Sunday and Tuesday, that'd at least give you time to heal to get into the GC match. But now they got to show a little bit more of the cards they're holding, because it don't sound good.
No. But I mean, we'll see. I'm holding hope that they're not going to fuck this up.
That does say that it can be on Wednesday, can it? The battle?
Yeah.
So what if it lines up with the GC battle?
Well, that's also part of what I was asking.
Last two matches were on Wednesday for me, so how's that going to work?
Yeah, I was going to say our GC is normally on Wednesday or Thursday, so
that is a good question. You know what? Let's just be real. There's going to be a select few people who actually give a shit to actually look at it, that are not even that they give a shit. They are curious enough to kill the cat and go in and tell us all that, oh my god, we made the worst mistake of our lives. Guaranteed. That's how it's going to play out.
If you do, please tell us.
Yes.
Good pictures, sound, and the whole 9 yards. I mean, that's just like when I did the first cast. As soon as cast started, I immediately put a deal online so people knew what was going on in the first cast, so they'd be prepared. It wasn't a guessing game.
Okay. Well, there are definitely too many questions for this new game mode that until it exists, it's all speculation at this point. I mean, we have a month in it, probably 2 months. They said June. We all know that probably means the end of June.
Well, I mean, the cast was also supposed to be almost a month ago, and they pushed it out a month, so who knows?
Yeah.
Hey, Remy, I just noticed something.
That you're gay? Congratulations.
Do you see what guild Yoda's in?
I'm not watching his live stream right now. I'm not gonna cap. What are you talking about?
I'm in BDB.
Okay.
What's the problem?
Big dick boys.
You gonna be
What
in
about
GC next week?
it? Mm-hmm. That's what we were talking about
we were
earlier.
talking about it in chat earlier, dude. Where were you?
Yeah, literally, Soul
I've
was
been
talking, I was
driving.
talking, Yoda. It wasn't even like earlier today. It was yesterday, wasn't it?
No, it was earlier today. But this was
It was early in the day because I was at work.
Sorry,
it was
Remy blows
it was
up
at
that
like
fucking
3
chat. I have
p.m.
it muted.
I don't what I barely talk in there unless somebody else talks. The fuck? The main contributor in that chat has been mostly Reggie and Yoda.
Yeah, usually. You're all quiet.
Yeah, so suck my
I'm not
nuts.
even seeing this conversation.
Suck my nuts.
It's where the kitty cat is being RIP'd. Right after that.
Yeah.
Anyways, getting off topic here. So, moving on. There is a new commander. It is the next generation of Zex type commanders because it does have that additional 5th skill and automatically comes with the awakening. So I went searching, and you know how like it's a 50-50. Sometimes they will post what the percentages are at level 60 and sometimes they won't. This time they didn't. So I'm not entirely sure the percentages. Oh well. It's a matter of how much it increases. Like there's no real way for me. It starts at 0.2% for the passive one, and we don't know for reckoning. It's second one, which is the one that we really do need to know. And then that their video of it was like, what? Why are you using tier 7 and 5 and 3 for your example? It didn't make any sense to me. Anyways, it's his first. His name's Matt. He's a Dracula. Probably been infected by whatever Zext is. With this whole arm thing going on and tentacles, I was thinking kind of like a Tokyo Ghoul kind of thing going on here. For those of you that watch anime. But I don't know. They're trying to make this like Dracula Kraken looking thing. I don't know. I like the way it's drawn, don't get me wrong. I'm not joshing on that one, but it's definitely maybe he was a captain and fell into the wall. I don't know. Since I don't have the commander, I can't look at his bio, and they didn't give a bio for him. But his first skill is Decay. It's a passive one. It's always active essentially after hitting the current target. Infantry inflicts additional damage equal to a certain rate of equal damage of 2% or 0.2% of the target's current. God, I can't talk or read anymore. I got the stupid or something on. Additional damage equal to 0.2% of the target's current HP to the target and increases the target's damage taken by 0.2% for 1 turn. So the way that reads, it's not a stacking skill. It's just something that every time, that's what the percentage is. Right? That's how everybody hear it that way. It's not a stacking skill.
Nah, I didn't read it that way. I mean, it could be. I don't know. There's been a lot of times that 7P like has said that they was going to do something and it didn't. Like, you know, or they actually, it says what it's supposed to do and then they shadow nerf it, like, right before a very important GC match. Anyways, so I don't know. We'll find out. And I mean, even when we find out, they might shadow patch it because they realize it's too good. And it might break off their top contender for money.
Wow.
Yeah, that's right. I'm shit talking you, 7P. I know what you did to Delaria. Fuck you.
Tell me how you really feel.
No, I'm pissed. They did it literally a day before the GC match with TMB. They shadow patched her before we faced TMB.
Oof. So
And that was, anyways, it is what it is. Like, fuck you, 7P. You know what you did, and you know why you did it, because TMB was being big crybabies. Oh, and guess what? They still lost. So suck my nuts.
Can't have
All
a
that-
Westerner guild fight a Western guild.
Yeah, I know. God forbid.
Oh,
God
that was
forbid a
loud.
Western Guild wins GC. And oh, guess what? Even with your bullshit shadow patch, they still lost. Get fucked. Fuck TMB and fuck Raz if you're watching.
wow. Okay. Aggressive.
No, they deserve it and they know it. You bitch so hard because we had a counter to your Zeth that they shadow patched it. And guess what? You still got shit on. Like, how are you so bad that you have 7P doing strings for you and you still fucking lost? Fucking trash.
Shots fired.
Like, suck more dick. It might help you win the next GC. Who knows?
Wow. This is the replay I was talking about. This is the one that 7 Pirates posted on their Facebook page. As you see, they're using tier 7, tier 5, all the way down to lurkers, tier 2.
Which is also something we've complained about. Like, use T12.
Like, and then they have T12 in the Dragon Slayer, but they don't have any T12 on the actual commander that we're looking at. It's like, okay, are we trying to make it boosted a little more than it should be, for one? Two, Dragon Slayer also is not... It's a shitty fucking comm to compare him to. Because his...
Well, yeah, especially because she has no fucking defense. Like,
well, it's not even that. His second skill, Reckoning, and this is why, Reckoning has a chance to trigger this before taking action, removing all buffs on the target, which with each successful removal increases own damage. DS doesn't buff herself. So you really can't get any true reading on this Reckoning skill. Like, does it really amp up enough?
yeah, like it's
does it
fucking
do
retarded.
anything? Because the one that they showed us, in terms of an example, she doesn't fucking buff herself. So right now, I can tell you right now, absolutely, his second skill, not saying the commander in general, his second skill will have pretty much no effect on Dragon Slayer unless the fourth skill of best offense is triggering. Okay, that's the only time that she buffs herself, if you put a fourth skill on her, for example.
Which
offense.
then, if you're using Canes, you know, which most infantry comms do.
Yeah, it don't matter.
Hey, fuck you, Resistance.
What?
What I do?
You know, you know what you did.
I done nothing.
That poll says otherwise, sir. You know what I'm gonna do? Just yoink. Anyways, continue, Yoda.
Well, you might as well delete the poll. There you go. Okay, you are.
Yeah, I did. I did.
Yeah,
All right,
I
you
got it.
two
I
play
got it.
nice. So then we have his fifth skill, Overloaded. All right, this is, again, it translated very poorly in my opinion because of some of the verbiage on the second end of it. I made the question out on this actual post. I don't think we'll check here in a moment if I got any response, which I don't think I did because they never respond to anything on Facebook. So whatever. Anyways, after this action ends, they can take another action, which also can trigger skills. The second action's attack damage is part of the normal attack damage I'm reading it slowly on purpose, guys. Overloaded soldiers will skip the next action turn. Based on the soldier types, both sides have when they enter the battlefield, every 2 types of soldiers will act an additional time. I don't understand what that means. Based on the soldier types both sides have when they enter the battlefield, every 2 types of soldiers will act an additional time. Is it... Well, now that I'm thinking about it, is that why they have so many different types of troops here?
Yes.
Right, but you could use different types
That
of
gives it an
T12.
extra 5 attacks.
So overloaded soldiers will skip the next, but this is the part that concerns me too. Overloaded soldiers will skip the next action turn. So it acts like wings, but you're...
I wonder if you can stack wings on top of it too. If so, that's a lot of turns.
They probably won't allow that.
Or sleep bomb.
Hopefully.
Well, imagine. Well, I mean, you remember Stella with sleep bomb used to be the shit. This dude with sleep bomb would be the exact same, no? Because if he does the different troop types, he's getting an extra 5 turns, not including POI.
Well, we'll play the replay here so you can kind of see how their example is. But major disclaimer here: in their replay, Reckoning absolutely isn't doing anything. There's no way to tell what Reckoning is doing because there's no debuff occurring. Because there's no buff to take away.
Don't forget about the tear suppression they're running.
So what? He ignores tear suppression?
Wait, what?
No.
They're not running. They don't show you what they're running.
Well, that's what the fuck are you talking about, Resistance?
They don't
I
show you
was
what
hoping
gear.
to see some damage on that T12, but there was no damage on the T12. That's what I was talking about.
Well, we'll come back to this in just a second, guys. I apologize. I have to go address something, so I'm gonna put this into a...
I'm gonna take this as an opportunity to skedaddle. Y'all have fun.
Oh, you're gonna leave?
Yeah. Well, I've been in here an hour and a half helping. Come on now, you got Resistance.
I'm about to be leaving. I got a kid, dog.
Oh goodness. Okay, then we'll just watch it. Whatever the other thing, I can wait here. Hold on, because
Hippity hoppity, give me the zoppity. Rest in peace, OJ.
No. So, anyways, so here's the replay. So,
Homie pulled out the no.
So he's missing a lot. So he doesn't have a auto hit. Loses his second slot. Reckoning isn't doing shit. But it's that overloaded thing that I don't know what's occurring to make it like he hits and then that additional action.
So kind of like double edge. Maybe, mysterious warrior double edge or backstab.
Oh no, that's a decay. That's his passive skill that's occurring. So if you hit, then it's like, well, it's a passive skill. So kind of like, what was the new one where it was like Dragon Slayer's, it's like Dragon Slayer skill, but you're not hitting all 6 slots. You're only hitting the 1 slot. It's where it does additional damage. That's what the decay is. That first skill.
It's kind of like the time bombs from Lady and the Beast.
No, I wouldn't say it like that. It's definitely it's basically, I would say it's like Dragon Slayer's skill, but you're only hitting that 1 slot for shot.
So Nick Wang's skill.
Yeah, but Nick Wang hits the biggest, or the largest slot in a troop number. So it's essentially a combination of their skills, but it's whatever slot's being hit in that moment.
Yeah, you've completely fucking confused me now.
Well, Nick Wing's skill is the same. It's the same concept. Only it hits like if you have one ranger or 3 rangers on one each per slot, but you have 500 of T12 in your 4th slot. He hits the ranger, but the 500 in the 4th slot's the one that actually takes the additional damage because it goes after the highest slot, not a catty corner or adjacent or anything like that.
So it's basically
Slayers-
like any of the poison effects,
poison effect?
right?
Like who?
Like Lady and the Beast time bombs. It targets after the attack. It targets the slot.
Well, this
That
one
was just
says a
attack.
number will die equal to the activator's units. This one says damage equal to blank of the increase in taken by the increases. So that's not even. Sorry. Yeah. After hitting the target, inflicts additional damage equal to the target's HP and increasing the target's damage taken by blank for 1 turn. To where by the target's HP. Which one has it? So is it more like a no, it's defense debuff.
Hey, anyways, I'm going to skedaddle. Y'all have fun.
Wow. Well,
You're not allowed to.
Don't fucking wow me. I've been here the whole damn time.
You're not allowed to leave.
oh no, I hit the wrong button. I need to close this before it should. Right. Close that. So it's the new commander. It's got the 5th skill. When this will be released is going to be available in the next event for year 8 anniversary. Is he worth it? Obviously, there's something to him that will make him worth it. Just with that 5th skill, we'll be seeing him. Whether or not he's going to be a challenge to Zex, that's a different conversation. The other issue to this too is they make it so difficult now to get these new comms that it's very hard for me to go and run my own sims for me to actually give you guys a verifiable breakdown of the commander. So there's that too. So I apologize it's not my fault, but I'll apologize on behalf of 7 Pirates for not making it easy for us to get these commanders so that we can actually figure out how they work. But even
Yoda,
then,
please tell me you have a VPN.
I do, yes.
Okay, good.
Why?
Because something got showed on.
The kick-ass torrents?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, no, I have a VPN.
Okay. I just questioned it for a minute.
Damn, I hit the wrong tab for that. I didn't even think about that. Anyways, not to bring any focus on that. But just to kind of go over to like some of the comments that were being made on this post. This one person said, sorry to break it to you 7 Pirates, but I'm 1 kidney short already and I can't survive without a kidney. Another one says, is this going to be a grind event to get the commander, or are you expecting us to pay with our souls? Arc of War, the War of the Universe, also have a word with your customer service team as they are failing to uphold their terms of service contract, whatever. Another person kind of responded to that one saying, I have been playing since the very beginning and I quit 2 months ago. They have taken what was once a good thing and put it into something that was just unplayable anymore for them. Which is true. We talk about that. As we've seen a lot of people just leaving. Another person said, you know damn well that this is a $1,000 commander from for these guys to just rip us off. And even then, I think $1,000 for a commander is still too much. I think that's for a fictitious game as this. with no physical, actual, like, something I can hold in my hand other than a phone that's projecting this item. I think it's ridiculous. Here, another person responds to it that you already know the answer to that 7P is proving themselves more and more lately with so much new gear and comms, but sadly, most of us have to cut our spending and losing the competitive edge regardless. And that's true. I mean, people have gotten to a point where they just don't want to spend any money on it anymore. So, yeah. I mean, that's all the new shit. That's really all that's left to really talk about. I mean, everybody that's been sitting here has been pretty quiet.
I have my son beside me, so.
Oh, you're good. But, I guess, this cuts it to a short one. I actually have to do, the thing that I have to go do is I have to go do cake for my daughter right now. So I guess we'll cut it here. Leave comments if you're watching or you did read it. Watch while we were streaming and you had some comment questions on it. I look at them. Some things I don't answer, but I do answer questions and comments on videos. If you haven't joined the Discord, go into the description. Link to the Discord. Join in. If you hadn't seen the announcement already, I did start a Patreon. If you want to, help me help you guys, there is a link in the announcements for that. Any money collected will go to proceeds to get things out to the community. I know, for example, one of my goals was like Melt was creating like mouse pads and fun things to give away. And he was using his revenue from the YouTube channel to do that. So that's something I would like to do. And if it does help ease people into promoting that, then that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to use that money to generate things that can be given back to the community and, try to make it more interactive than just watching a video with a bunch of us shitting on 7 pirates. As fun as it can be. But,
Yoda, I have one question for you.
Yeah.
That gift I DoorDashed you, what did you do with it?
Threw it away.
What?
What am I going to do with it?
Save it?
For what?
To your future girlfriend.
We could talk about this off stream. I'm not going to talk about it on stream. All right, well, I'm going to cut the video here, guys. If everybody have a good time.
Can't believe you threw that thing.